I created the routine somewhat as a challenge. I was at the Abbott's Magic get-together, and somebody said something negative about older magic effects. And I said, I could probably take the world's oldest magic effect and turn it into an entertaining routine. He says, I'd like to see that. I put this routine together, performed it for him, he bought one. So he did eat his own words. I'm just going to perform it like I would perform it for anybody. So, do you ever think about time? Well, not time in the past, present, and future sense, but the concept of time. Well, for instance, has time always been? I really think about that always. Infinite time. That's a staggering concept by itself. Or, like some people believe, there was a beginning of time, like the Big Bang. But I've always thought if there was a beginning of time, what came before the beginning of time? And logic dictates if there is a beginning of something, there will be an end. What comes after the end of time? You know what, another time? That's actually a concept that the ancient Egyptians believed in. They believed that time was cyclic, it bent, came back to itself, and started over. Came back to itself and started over. Hey, deja vu, right? We've all had deja vu where you knew you were someplace that you knew you never were. Well, maybe you were, but in a different time. And I like that concept enough, and I created a magic effect to go with it that uses two of these, which I'm sure you'll recognize, and one of these, which we'll get to shortly. Now, before we start, for the whole routine, it's imperative that all the cards stay face down at all times. So that way, not only do I not know what the cards are, but you don't know what the cards are. Okay? There's also something in the study of time that's called the time's arrow. Basically, it's the direction that time is going, well, at any given time. We need a card to be used as the time's arrow. Well, Joe, would you mind helping?
Sure.
Okay, as I go through the cards, just touch one. Pull that card out, but don't look at it. We don't need the rest of the deck. Just put that card right here. Okay, this is going to be the time's arrow card, the arrow of time. Oh, and do you know what the Egyptian symbol is for time repeating itself, the rejuvenation? It's the scarab. See, the scarab in its life goes through what looks like a rebirth. That's why the Egyptians took the scarab to represent the direction the time was going, or the time repeating itself. And we're going to place the scarab right on top of your time's arrow card. You have a second deck of cards. I want you to think, imagine a clock, and think of the numbers 1 through 12.
Okay.
Okay? Allow your mind to rush past the numbers faster, faster, faster.
Okay.
And maybe slow down, or even go back in time a little bit. Stopping on one of the numbers, but don't tell me what the number is. Do you have a number in mind, an hour in mind?
Yes.
Yes. If that hour is 1 o'clock, I would have you take one card, put it in the card box. 2 o'clock, it would be 2 cards, 3 for 3. You get the point, yes?
Yes. Do you want me to take that number of cards?
Yeah, and put that many. If you're thinking of 1 o'clock, put 1 card in here. If you're thinking 2, put 2 cards, and so forth. And let me know when you're finished. Also, do you know that it was the Egyptians whose concept the hour was? Now, granted, the original sundial, what was created 6,000 years ago, no long before the Egyptians, but 3,500 years ago, one of the ancient Egyptians discovered by putting marks in the sand, you could keep track of where in the day you were, or what we today call hours. Oh, just keep that set aside there for me. And keep the cards in your hand. Okay? Deal 12 cards down for me. Okay. Count them out.
Okay, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then discard the packet. Okay, keep those cards in your hand. I don't want to touch anything. You do everything, I do nothing. Ask my wife, I do it rather well.
Is that right?
You're going to get good at something. Take one card and deal it face down right here. Okay? Yeah, do it right like that. And we're going to point the arrow of time there. And then we're going to create a makeshift sundial or a clock. So we're going to go through all 12 of the cards.
Nice.
Okay, so Joel selected the times hour card. It is pointing at the 1 o'clock hour. Is that the hour that you're thinking of? No? What about 2 o'clock?
No.
3?
So you want me to tell you?
Yes.
No.
4?
No.
5?
No.
6?
No.
7?
No.
8?
No.
9?
Yes.
9 o'clock. I didn't know that. I could not know. Did anybody else know it? No. You're the only person. So random selection, yes?
Yes.
Oh, but remember the scarab. What does it represent, symbolize? Well, time repeating itself. And if we take a look, think you will agree, it has.
No. Wow.
Now, just a second. I know what you're thinking. What if you said 8 or 10 o'clock? If you had, you'd been lost. Lost in time. That's the name of this effect, lost in time. Because if you would have taken either of these two, see, there's nothing there. There's also nothing here, 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 or here. Remember the cards that you put into the card box? Yes, there's also nothing right there. Oh, and the rest of the deck, not 1, 2, or 3, but each and every card is a lost in time.
Wow.
Card.
My
Wait. But you could have taken a different times hour card. If you had, we'd been lost, because yes, every one of those is also a blank card, a lost in time card. Only card that's going to work with is your freely selected card at your freely selected hour, and that's lost in time.
Wow, bravo.
Nice.